Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Mercato is
Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back to the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Special time for a video, no actually to go live, because usually it's in the middle of the night, at least here in Europe. But I wanted to go live instead of going with a video, because I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask your questions, to go with your frustration, because I already see in the chat people that are going with Mercato is not crazy, Mercato is boring. This is what people are saying, but actually you can find some craziness in something boring as well. I think so. Is Mercato really blocked or not? We'll speak about it. We'll speak about whatever you want. So I have a kind of course, prepare the topics that I want to go through. There are some names for the midfield. Why O'Reilly? Would it be a good name? For what position is the big question. What about the other names that we are hearing here? Kessier. We are here about Andrey, Santos, about another player that is actually playing at Leipzig, also for the midfield. What about the strikers? Because Gazzetta dello Sport is continuing to say that the dream of Colomoni is to be there already tomorrow. For the family game, because tomorrow we play, which I think it's a bit crazy. Maybe it's taking the plane in an hour and we don't know about it, but would be really, really strange. But you never know. So let's see. Let's monitor the situation for Colomoni coming back. And Dusan Vlahovic can possibly stay at Juve, but how will he be treated? Because if at the moment the decision for the preseason was to don't ban any player, to not create a Juve B that is actually training in an isolated way, but taking all of them together, will it be the same from the moment that you will have to hand over the official lists for Serie A, but also especially for Champions League, where we know that we cannot go with unlimited numbers. So we'll have to speak about all of that. Of course, we can go back to the game of Dortmund, where I was present and I was able to watch with my eyes the new 25-26 Juve, at least the ideas of Tudor, where we saw some beautiful things. You will tell me it's a friendly Beppe. You told us to not get excited after Reggiana or depressed after Reggiana after that 2-2. We will not now start to be extremely excited after the victory over Dortmund, and it is a friendly of the preseason, so it means not a lot, but we can already take some points, like maybe finally the revival of Cambiaso, etc, etc. So we can speak about that, and if you want I can also tell you what I did in Dortmund for the 2 days. Allora, iniziamo con la cosa la più importante che c'è. Let's start with the most important thing that there is. Actually, saying hello to all the people in the chat. We see the people here like El Primo. Why El Primo? Because probably he's enjoying a bit of off time. Wait, there is something that is annoying me. Okay, here. Not perfect, but it's okay. Like El Primo, because we are, of course, in holiday period. So some people that are still studying, they are maybe already at home. Ciao, Softy. I think Milan is doing a good Mercato so far. I totally agree with that. Napoli as well. Napoli is doing a 5-star Mercato. I'm really getting nervous about next season. If things don't start moving for us, Milik, Arthur, Douglas Luiz, Vlahovic situation needs to be resolved, and much more. Like, for example, today we can speak about Nico Gonzalez and possibly actually a deal that has been made between him and Tudor, even if Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting us some different things. We'll monitor that situation, we'll speak about it. Ciao Naruto, ciao Juve fan for life, ciao Juventini of the world, ciao a tutti, Giu5BL, ciao Orion, ciao Junior Mas, grande, 5726, Bogdan, one of the top 11 all-time commentators of the channel, one that leave a lot of comments under the videos. Bravo Bogdan, ciao Zigazb, Sir Razad is there, Beppe finally, ciao Beppe, ciao a tutti. Oh, about that Beppe finally, I wanted to come back on something, because yesterday, for the first time ever, I received actually two different messages, but they were going towards the same direction. I wanted to clarify that. So for the people that are asking, Beppe, why this, that, I show you the comments that I received yesterday. So yesterday I received two comments, because I always spend a lot of time in reading your comments. The first one was here, you can see, from Enrico, that said, you are not putting any efforts on the channel like before. Barely commitment this summer and no videos every day. While another comment was from Pedro Luis Alcaraz, where he wrote to me, Beppone, you became famous and stopped being consistent. So two comments that actually, it's not hate, it's not it's actually a good, we can say it's a good comment or not. It's a valid comment that I pay attention for. Now I went back, because I was asking myself, is it that evident that I did a bit less? So I went back in the last 28 days, and in the last 28 days I did like 24 videos, 5 lives, and 4 shorts here on the channel. Ciao Antonio, che dice non capisco un cavolo, ma mi piace lo stesso seguirti. Grazie Antonio. Guarda, parlerò piano, così almeno puoi provare a seguirmi. Però grazie. No, so I was actually saying, is it true, not true that I posted less? So yeah, of course, I posted less this summer if we are comparing it with last August, where we were live nearly every single day. Now, I don't believe that the first comment where people were saying you didn't put a lot of efforts in the channel, I didn't agree that much with it, because in a way, if I took only 8 days of holidays, and I went like uploading every single day on holiday, except of 2 days where I was driving, because I drove with a car alone, and when you are driving, it's not that you are there watching your phone to keep up to date with the news and then making a video just for the sake of making a video without being complete. Is not something that I like. So I decide in these moments while driving to just skip, because having a bad quality video just because I want to upload makes totally no sense. So that's why I didn't upload 2 days, but during my holiday I was actually going with videos. And then the live, this is true, but I believe, and you can tell me your opinion, because I really wanted to ask you, if you're comparing with last summer, where we went live every single day, but we signed 12 new players, while here we went with 1, Jonathan David, on the 1st of July, and then Joao Mario swap with Alberto Costa. That's it. For the rest, there is the same news every single day. Today we will continue to speak about Colomani, we'll speak about Dusan Vlahovic, things that we were speaking about like in the beginning of the summer. Not even, we were already speaking about that before the Club World Cup. Situations in the midfield, about Douglas Luiz leaving, we are speaking about it since so long. So instead of going live every single evening, knowing that there will be no notification from Alfredo Pedula, from Gianluca Di Marzio, because there is at the moment not really something really sustainable. Yeah, you know, Nicolo Schira will tweet Colomani's preferred destination is Juve, but is this really something to make an entire live of 1 hour about? I don't know. I really don't know if it was really worth actually being here, because doing every single day alive, repeating, being extremely boring makes that you will be really bored of my face and my voice. So I didn't want to actually do it. No, some people could think if you are actually milking it with a live every single day, speaking about nothing, could maybe even go with the interpretation that you are doing it only for the money because you received a donation, because some people are extending the membership, and you actually do it only for the donation because you are thinking about money. And that's absolutely not the feeling that I wanted to give you. So I prefer being totally transparent and open in, there is nothing to say, guys, I don't go live. If there will be something, I will do it. Otherwise, no. And then that's it. So give me your opinion about that. Because I did 5 today, it's my 6th live. We are looking at the last 29 days. Should I increase the lives again or not? Or videos? Guys, videos I try to do every single day. If I really miss it, it's because I'm not able to do it. Like last time I was in Dortmund, I went in the hotel, I had like 30 minutes freedom. I made a video. The day after, on Sunday, I had 0 possibility to record because I was working. So it's impossible, and then I don't do it. But tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about it. Thomas is saying, pointless to do a video about players who are linked and never get like Tonali and Yulman. Pointless, no. Pointless, no, because if Tonali is a name that was spoken about, they speak again about it, they try to find the logic way of why Juventus is still believing in it, and they explain it, you should explain it also to people that they have no time to read the entire articles. They just see some headline that are saying, oh, we go for Tonali. While if you look at the video that I made like 3-4 days ago about Tonali, I said immediately, oh, ragazzi, according to me, there is a logic way of why not going for Tonali, but I don't believe it will happen. So pay attention in what you're reading, in being able to split reality and dream. So I think, it makes sense. Yulman was a real objective, but what I always told you, yes, a real objective in terms of qualities, in terms of maybe what Juventus is missing at that moment. But then I always told you, if the requests that we are hearing are really 60 million euro, 55 million euro for Yulman, he will not join. That's a reality. And today, for the first time, we hear from the paper that that Juventus is really far in distance from him because the price is way too high. So, but I mean, it makes sense to make a small video about it. Then every day going live makes no sense. Beppe, this is your channel. I think you should go live and post what you want to. Simple. Oh, look at that. I'm here together with my boys. That's me here in the middle. That was in US. Mamma mia. What a beautiful moment. No, of course, it's my channel, of course, and I decide how I want to act on it. But I like, because we are a community, to share with you, and maybe what I think is totally, how can I say, correct, to take a decision to not overload with live and things like that. Maybe it's totally incorrect because people, like one of these comments, they replied because I told them a bit my point of view, and they said, no, but Bep, actually, if you want, I delete the message because my point was that I was missing your videos, basically. So I said, no, don't delete the comment. It's okay, it's fine for me, it's a correct criticism. But actually it came from, we need and we want more comments. So that's basically the question. Do videos only when necessary, don't force it. Grande Steven, thank you, my friend. We see you living your dream and working for Juventus. If that means less video, it's not a problem. Thank you. Now I must say that I'm working with Juve as a partner since February 2021. The only thing that might change a bit this season is that I will be more traveling. That's correct. I don't know if you were able to watch it already on Instagram or not, but I just posted it, or you followed me there on that social media. I went 2 days in Dortmund, where on Saturday evening for Juventus official fan clubs there in Germany, we were able again to interview Moreno Torricelli, which was really fantastic, a really beautiful experience to go there and watch it. And at the end of the month of August, I will be in another part of the world where I cannot yet at the moment say it. But the good thing is that normally, at the end of August, we should have, normally, because you never know in life, a video with someone important that I'm sure that a few years ago you were celebrating his skills on the field. Without spoiling too much, but that would be a very first important thing for the channel. So working with Juve doesn't change, except that I will be more on location, but it's something that I always love to do, and people are giving it back so much. And then, you know, when I opened the channel, I did it for a simple reason, to be able actually to speak to Juventini, and one thing is doing it here behind the screen, which is fantastic with the community that we build. And then you have the possibility to really make it real, to meet, to real life meeting the Juventini, and that's really beautiful. In Dortmund as well, it was really a fantastic, beautiful moment. So no, I'm super grateful for that. I was in Dortmund, too bad. Sadly, did not manage to see you. It's a pity, Mauri. Otherwise, I would have loved it. What else as a comment? Yeah, I already read that one. Beppe, what was your thought about the game of Dortmund? Yeah, we can switch to our... If you want to add something about the quantity of videos or lives or go, it's the moment, because I love to have your opinion. Otherwise, we go towards the game of Dortmund. Pay attention, because I received a message. Attenzione! I promise you it's true. I promise you it's true. I'm not faking whatever. I just received a name. Wait, I will ask if I can speak about it. Give me a second. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It's right. It's true. Give me a second. I will ask if I can just reveal the name. Give me a second. If I can, it's a beautiful name. I can even reveal the name. I don't know if it will happen or not. I tell you already up front, I don't know if it will happen or not. My friends, if this happens, we make a party. If this happens, we make a party. No. I don't see the name yet. I see that you are trying to find it. Neymar, Colomwani, Nkunku, Zebina, Haidara. No, we will speak about Haidara later, but if this happens, no, I will, guys. I will not tell you. I will not tell you about names that we are speaking about, like Andrey Santos. If I tell you Andrey Santos, you will tell Beppe. You just read it somewhere on a paper, and you want to make as if you have an exclusive news. No, I tell you about the player that I just received the name, and I can even speak about it. Then maybe there were already some information about it that I didn't see. We'll look later. But it's a top player. Maybe the mass will not know about that player too much. We mentioned him of the name because it's a player that I said, oh, if you can go for that player, you need to go and you need to sign him immediately. The guy is only 17 years old, attacking midfielder. He's playing in Belgium at the moment. It's not Bentancur, it's not Benacer, it's not Zegrova. Zegrova is not playing in Belgium. Szoboszlai is not playing in Belgium. So, but he's not Belgian. He's born in Belgium, but he's not Belgian. Attenzione! Bravo, Charles, that is saying he's a Greek player indeed. And Sir Raz knows it's not the Kuiper that went to Brighton, guys. The Kuiper went to Brighton. People are saying we can't hear you. There is a lag. Are you hearing me or not, guys? Are you still hearing me or not? Otherwise, you can refresh YouTube. Huh? No sound. You're fine now. It's okay now. Okay. The name, I read it here. The name, I had it here from Jim. It is Konstantinos Karetsas. Who knows about Konstantinos Karetsas? Who knows about him? Matteo says, I never heard about him. Who is this guy? Miretti better. But no, you cannot say Miretti better if you don't know the other guy. You cannot say that. You need to know both guys. And then you can say Miretti is better. Could be, or not. I know he's Greek, but nothing more. So, Karetsas. What I can tell you is, from what I received as information, is that in the offices of La Continassa, the documents, the dossier, the files with the name Konstantinos Karetsas is there. And I can tell you that this name is extremely great. Why? Because I watched him the first time when I went to watch Juventus against Genk. Juventus Genk Youth Academy Champions League. The first time I watched Kenan Yildiz live, by the way. He was, I believe, 15 or something like that. He was already playing. He was impressive. I heard a lot of beautiful things about him. He's already playing with the first team. He's 17 years old. This season already played 3 games out of 3. 1 assist already. Starting 11, 100%. Is really good. If you tell me today O'Reilly or Karetsas, I tell you without any hesitation, Karetsas. Without hesitation, because this could potentially be one of the top 20 players in the world in like 3 years. 2 years. 3 years. I really believe that. I really believe what I'm saying. He has a constant growth. He continues to grow, to develop himself. He's only 17. He already played first division. He knows what is the pressure. And he's a player that can take some decision, like when he took the decision to play for Greece instead of Belgium. It's a player that all the scouts in the world, they know extremely well. It's not an unknown player for the scouts, for people that are following football as professionals. The name of Karetsas is on the list of a lot of clubs. The value of the player on transfer market already 20 million euro for a 17 years old playing in Belgium. The value could increase extremely high. He has a contract until 2027, so 2 years more. Of course, it's not an easy negotiation. We know that negotiating with Belgium clubs is tough. Ask to the Milan fans that will tell you how much they suffered for Charles de Ketelaere, how much they suffered for Yashari. Genk is a beautiful academy with a nice prospect, with some money as well. So they are not obliged to sell. But, of course, at a certain moment, they know that they need to give the player a chance. That could potentially be, well, this is not Tognozzi because Tognozzi is not working at the club, but that could have been the name of Tognozzi a few years ago, putting him on the list. The good thing is that the player, we were already speaking about him, I believe 1 or 2 years ago here on the channel, pay attention, give an eye, monitor that player. But the good thing is, from what I heard today, is that at Juventus, they are aware about the player. This new management, so not the management from the past with Cristiano Giuntoli, etc., that could have gone for names like that. But this management also know, and there is a dossier. That doesn't mean that contacts were already done. That doesn't mean that there is already a price tag. That doesn't mean that we have chosen for him. But this is a really, really, really good player. I can tell you, if this is true, I would be in seventh heaven, I can tell you. Because you are anticipating a lot of clubs. This player, if not him, of course, but him, if you don't take him now, maybe it's the last chance to take him for a reasonable price. Next year is gone for a lot of money and you cannot compete anymore. And then you cannot compete anymore. What's stopping us then, Beppe? Well, what is stopping us? That's a really good question. What is stopping us is the fact that we have at the moment more than 30 players in our team. We have more than 30 players in our team. And at the moment, there are some players that are blocking every single move. Because if we were able to free some space with Wea Bangula actually selling them for much more, that was what was agreed on with Nottingham. Well, at the moment, we hear the name of Douglas Luiz that disappeared. Dusan Vlahovic today will go towards it because the news of Dusan Vlahovic are that he could possibly stay. Nico Gonzalez that could possibly stay. So McKennie that we don't know is back on the transfer market. Yes, but did you ever heard, except of Roma, a team that really wants to put the money on the table for Weston McKennie? At the moment, I didn't hear it. And Juventus, with these players that especially are at the end of their contract, we are speaking about Vlahovic, Kostic. I wrote the names earlier. I don't know where here. Vlahovic, McKennie, Kostic, Rogani, Giallo, Pinsoglio, Facundo Gonzalez are 7 players that have their last year of contract with Juve. So it's really tough to let them go or not, or find a team for them that is able to pay something. So it's really, really difficult. So what is blocking us? It's a bit that, because yes, we heard about Napoli, but Napoli at the moment is not, they don't want to put the price tag higher for what they wanted for Miretti, which actually annoyed a bit the agent of Miretti that was convinced that that offer would have been increased to show also seriousness from Napoli, but it didn't arrive. Yes, it's true. Leoni is a player where Liverpool is interested in. They would love to go for the player. Even Bournemouth is interested. Bournemouth that made even an offer between 30 and 35 million euro, where Parma said no. For 35 million euro, no, because we would love to keep the player. I always told you that the intention of Parma and of the player is to have Parma to have the player one more year, even if they already sold him, but keeping him on loan, while the player would love a year with continuity, because his plan, his target, his objective is to go and play with the national team, the World Cup in USA, if Italy, of course, qualify, which is not done yet, and it will be extremely tough because they cannot miss any single game, and probably even that will lead them to playing the playoffs, and you know that is extremely tricky. So then if you have a Liverpool that is interested in Leoni, it's Liverpool, guys, and 30 million euro, plus bonus for the player. Maybe for Bournemouth he could say no, maybe for Liverpool he could say yes, so we know it. But am I blaming Juventus on that one? No, like I cannot blame Milan, like I cannot blame Inter on that one, because you cannot compete financially with a Bournemouth. So let alone a Liverpool. And this is the harsh reality that were explained to you in 2014 by Andrey Agnelli before I had the channel. But since 2020, since I have the channel, is something that I explain you, and I tell you in a few years we will not be able to compete with Newcastle. This time is already gone, and then I told you we will not be able to compete with a Bournemouth, with a Burnley, with these kind of teams, and that's where we are in since I believe 1 or 2 seasons, and it will go worse and worse and worse and worse if something drastic doesn't happen in Italy. So are we here to blame Juventus that they didn't go for a player like Giovanni Leoni, knowing as well that if Juventus is asking for a player, they will ask you much more because he stays in Italy, because they know that it's the biggest club of Italy. That's the reality. Why, when other clubs are asking for a player, they will ask a bit less. When they go abroad, you also have that attraction for Premier League, and also because at the difference of Juve, and that's also an important one, or other Italian club, and you saw it with every single deal that has been made in the summer, you see that Italian clubs, they are looking for saving some cost, $1 million here, $1 million there, $1 million there, and it takes extremely long before they go and they sign someone. And when they sign, usually they pay over 4 years a player. Even if it's 12 million euro, even if it's 20 million euro, they ask really to divide it, to split what they are offering. So even for low offers, for low players, they are not able to put cash on the table immediately, while Parma will ask you 40. Okay, you want to pay in 4 years. Well, 40 with some installments, like Andrey is telling us in chat. Okay, but then we do 40 and you pay how much is it in 4 years? 10. While Liverpool comes and they say, oh guys, we have no time to lose. You know what, we put 35 boom on the table, or 30 on the table. We put them immediately into your bank without any discussion. There is no bonus of this or linked to some appearances or that or that or that. We don't care. What is the huge big difference, you will tell me? It's not that Juve cannot go and pay 40 million euro immediately or divide them in 10 years. That's not the problem. There is money. The problem is that there is not as much as money. And the huge big problem with Italy is that you are always linked to a qualification in Champions League the year after, which is not always guaranteed. Because if you don't succeed to qualify for the next Champions League, you will have a huge big loss financially that you cannot allow yourself. So you are really depending on that, because your broadcast revenues are not big enough to cover a potential loss of Champions League. While English clubs, they can take the risk much higher. They can say, okay, we don't care if we will qualify in Champions League or not, because anyway, a lot of money will enter in the club with the next broadcaster, of course. Don't go in second division, but even there, if you go in second division, you have a lot of money as an exit bonus to survive in second division, while the year after you have absolutely no financial problems, and you come back and you receive again a lot of money. You know it that I believe the 17 team in Premier League, they earned more money than the winner of the Serie A, of the Scudetto, and that's a big problem. So Juventus cannot go on a 18 years old putting 40 million euro and saying we want Leoni, and we have absolutely no problem in going, and if he fails, we tried. We were first on the player, because they need to have that guarantee that he will succeed. And even when we have all the checks that are okay, for example, a Koopmeiners, 3 years in Serie A, a player that can play multiple positions, a player that is constantly good, that doesn't have a lot of injuries, a player this. Then he arrives at Juve and he flops, because football is crazy, because you never know in life, and even there we took a lot of risks. So you see, this is what is holding Juventus back to go for a player like Leoni at today. But it's not only Juve, it's every single Italian club. They cannot. As simple as that. Let me... Ciao, Paolo. Paolo is there in the chat as well. Ciao, grande. Okay, let me read a few comments of you, and then we go towards everything that we need to say. We need to speak also about the Dortmund, what I saw. Saras, 30 months. Glad to have seen you again in Dortmund and catch up. Let's go for a bigger, better, and stronger 25-26. Bidu. I was extremely happy. You know, Saras is helping a lot in the Telegram group together with Mo El Shahali. And Sarraza was able to already meet him here in Belgium, and then now in Dortmund, where he was watching Juventus women before Juventus first team. Always a pleasure, and thank you, really, thank you for everything that you do for the GJustjuve community. Shashko, 9 months together with us. Good to have you back, Cugino. Let's get crazy. Well, that doesn't depend on me, Shashko. Unfortunately not. Thank you for the 9 months. 43 months for Mikey Mazzarese. Ciao Beppe, ciao tutti. I can't believe I just turned 50. Oh! And have been following this club for 40 years. I will never stop fino alla fine. Happy 50, Mikey Mazzarese. Not always we agree on everything, and that's the beauty of Mikey Mazzarese, because he knows that it's just football opinions, and at the end it doesn't matter, because there is a lot of love from me towards Mikey, and a lot of respect that is mutual. So I'm happy. Thank you for being so loyal to be here together with us. Exceptional person to have here in the channel. Thank you, and happy birthday for your 50 again, my friend. Bye. Attenzione for Okoro, that has been I don't know if he has been announced officially yet or not, but Alvin Okoro, I know, because he's doing the medicals. He was doing it early in the afternoon, and then he will sign a contract for until 2030. It's a player that is actually supposed to be there for the next gen team, Alvin Okoro. When you are telling me pay attention for Okoro, pay attention. But in prospect, it could be a good name. At the moment, probably it's a bit early. I try to find. Let's see. I found him. Player from Venezia, or at least he was from Venezia, 20 years old, 185. So he will join the next gen team, but pay attention. It's a player, of course, that could potentially help the first team. But this is also something that we said last year for Felix Agenajan. You remember? And at the end, Zero calls up with the first team because he didn't prove himself. Because it's not easy, guys. That's the reality. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So we were all thinking that. So that's why I want to be a bit more cautious with Okoro in telling you, yeah, good, beautiful what he did with Venezia. But at Juve, it's something totally different. It's not a player for the first team at today. At today, not a player for the first team. So let's see. Let's see. Curious. Then yeah, in Serie C, he already had experience. Last year he went on loan to Vispesaro, where he played in total last year between Coppa playoff and Serie C 36 games, where he scored 6 goals and 4 assists. So if you are speaking about the striker, where that was his main position, it's not something where you are dreaming about in telling, oh, fantastic, he's a first team player. So it's really someone for the next gen with an open window, like everyone that is playing at the next gen. Huh? Okay, in a few words, my friend Federico was there as well in Dortmund. In a few words, speaking about Dortmund, who was your man of the match, by the way? Who was your man of the match? I will tell you my man of the match. And I said it to my son during the game at a certain moment, but I didn't say it here on the channel. Who was your man of the match against Dortmund from what we saw? Let me read you. Andrea Cambiaso, Kenan. Who is Mario? Ah, Joao Mario. Cambiaso, Joao Mario, Kelly. Bravo. Oh, guys, at a certain moment, I turn myself, I watch my son, and I say, guys, but Kalulu is exceptional today, yeah? He's exceptional today. Yeah, he was great. Kalulu was immense. According to me, was immense, not only for the offensive side, because I know that we have always the tendency to look at what players are doing in offensive phase, which is important, of course. But both offensively and defensively. I'm not surprised, but I keep saying I'm impressed. But I will tell you what was crazy is, and as a second sentence that I told my son when I was watching the game, I turned myself, I said, Kalulu is a beast today. And then I said, and you know, that the fact that Bremer is back, I think that Bremer is like the reverse of Kryptonite. You know, that Kryptonite, when Superman is next to the Kryptonite, they become weaker. While I believe that the players that are playing next to or around Bremer, they become stronger. Because Kalulu, and that's where I will open the controversy of today. Kalulu, he knows that he can go up, and as he can play also perfectly as a right back, he knows what it is to take the ball, to carry the ball, to go up. What does that mean? That I believe, honestly, that in the beginning of the season... 1 second, guys. Mercato is crazy, guys. Mercato is totally crazy. So this time I cannot tell you. But move on. Where were we? A bit of Dortmund. So I told you my big controversy that I wanted to launch was because Kalulu is able to play as a right back and he knows how to go up to carry the ball and he's much more comfortable on the right side. I really think that in the beginning of the season we'll see a backline without movements of Mercato in or out, because then everything can happen in Mercato. But if not, I can really see a Kalulu, Bremer and Kelly starting with Federico Gatti on the bench. I think, and this is what I think, that a Kalulu, if you put him on the left side just to have Gatti on the right side, you could miss. You could miss on the potential of Kalulu. If you see the performance that he did offensively, defensively against Dortmund, playing there on the right side, knowing that there is a Bremer to back him up, I would really think twice. And I think that this is one of the paradoxes of Igor Tudor. Now, Gatti cannot play on the left, guys. Gatti cannot play on the left. And to tell you the truth, even have a center back, not. The position of Gatti is there in a 3-man defense there on the right, or in a 4-man defense as a center back more on the right side of the field. Oh yeah, of course I can. Of course I can tell you that. So no, guys. No, you can play. Oh, you can play Kalulu if Kelly or whoever plays there on the left is not doing well enough. At a certain moment you will move Kalulu on the left and you will play with Gatti on the right, because Kalulu can play on the left as well, but he doesn't feel that comfortable on the left. He has difficulties also to switch with his foot, not the same when he's carrying the ball, so he's a bit more limited. So you actually limit one player, that is Kalulu, if you put him there on the left. No, Balerdi, guys, is something that we gave up on since long. So Balerdi will not join Juve. There could be last days of transfer market. They could be again a boomerang for Renato Vega. There could be a boomerang for Renato Vega, but only if Lloyd Kelly accept another club. And at the moment, from what I know, there were 2 clubs on the player. Let me check the names. One is known is Sunderland, that you have read a bit everywhere. And if I'm not wrong, the second team that was interested in him is Burnley. But these are clubs that honestly, at the moment, Lloyd Kelly saying, I'm not that interested in. Of course, if you have a big club from another league or whatever that is actually calling and saying we want him and he would potentially go and leave, Juventus is open to let him go. Of course, not that much for the player. That could potentially even be seen, because he's actually appreciated at Juve more than what Juventus supporters are thinking. He's really appreciated at Juve, but they know that it's a player without long-term future. One, it's a player that more you go, less you have chances to sell him, and that's a second part. So it will be extremely difficult. Also, for the price that we paid, we are sure that we are able to find potentially funds for a starting left foot center back. Vega is a player with growing margin, and that's the difference, because he's 21 years old, because it's a player that is making mistakes. He's making a lot of mistakes. That was used as a real pure center back in a 3-man defense by Tudor, but it's a player where Juventus sees some potential in. But that will be a last-minute Mercato decision if we are able again to go with a loan, maybe this time with an option to buy or an obligation to buy. But at the moment, it's parked there because we have 10 defenders with Facundo Gonzalez that should leave, and we will still stay with 9 defenders. And that's actually one of the points for Renato Vega today. But I tell you, one of my big paradox today is who starts in a 3-man defense at today. And I think that at today, in the starting spot, you have Kalulu, Bremer, and Kelly over Federico Gatti. And I know this will be a controversial one for a lot of time, where people will not understand why Kalulu is not shifting on the left. But when he was shifted on the left, we saw that his performances were dropping a lot. And what we saw him doing against Dortmund is something that we will not be able to see if he plays on the left side of the field. Jallo is also a right. In a three-man defense, he's also a player that should play on the right, but he's a bit more flexible to play on the left. A bit more flexible than Kalulu, so he could potentially play there. I didn't really like the performance of Jallo in the two friendlies that I saw until today. I was not really sold. It's a player with 1 more year of contract. As soon as there is an offer that arrives and that he's happy about, Juventus will not even do that difficult, because it's a player that we didn't sign for much. It's a player with a low salary, relatively low salary, so it's a player that could go and leave immediately, but of course he needs to accept and to be happy about. I know that there were some supporters that were asking him, and he said that he would love to try his chance at Juve, so let's see. I'm really curious. But Gatti has Mercato abroad. He has some Mercato abroad, especially in Premier League, where some clubs are really interested in him, like Newcastle. There was Napoli that was strong on the player. They really wanted him. And Manna and Conte, as revealed also by Federico Gatti. But he renewed with Juve. So no. Because Bremer, we know it, in a four-man defense, is already losing a bit. But he did a lot of progression, but he's already losing a bit because he has difficulties on playing with his left. Because when you watch him in starting actually with the ball, building from the back, you see that he's always losing a time of play, because he always put the ball on his right foot and he always open towards the right side, because he has difficulties to play immediately there. So if you put him there, you actually take your best defender, a world-class defender, and you say, do something else. It's like if you have a teacher of a bungee jump, and you tell him now you will teach people to swim. Yes, he was a teacher for the bungee jump. Yes, he can become also a teacher for swimming, but they are two total different sports with two different techniques. It's not the same. So no, it would be totally crazy, because you lose actually the best skills. That would be totally crazy. Pecci. I know that you are trying in a way to move Kelly from the team to play with Gatti, Bremer, and Kalulu, but difficult. I tell you, the only option there is to play with Kalulu, but you need to know that it's not the preferred position of the player, not the position where he feels much more comfortable, and you're limiting a lot of movements there. Locatelli will not drop in the back, Ibrahim, for a simple reason. It's because he's one of the only stability player we have in the midfield, a player that Juventus Tudor can count on. Dorsium Grande. Ciao Beppe, you should have told me there was a lifesaver live. I even planned it 1 hour before, and I posted it 1 hour before in our Telegram group. I cannot start sending to all the people there will be a live earlier today, but thank you for being here. That being said, we have a lot of topics to speak about. So go, guys, go with your questions. We take them, we speak about them. Dortmund, what else? In the meanwhile, that you are asking the question about Mercato or whatever you want to, I tell you what else I loved. I loved the aggressivity on Chico, but if he's doing that in Italy, he would be sent off after 10 minutes. So he needs to calm down. It was really funny to at a certain moment seeing Locatelli going towards him. I don't know if you watch it on television or not, but you can clearly see it in the stadium. He goes there, then he's taking with both hands on his face there and saying, now you stop. Like I wanted to say like my mother explained me things when I was a kid, but my mother was doing something totally different. She was taking the shoes, and it was totally different. But yeah, in 2025, like a mother would do with their little kid, explaining that they cannot do this and this and this. It was quite funny. Quite funny moment, honestly, from the stadium. I want to go speak about, of course, Andrea Cambiaso, with also involving Joao Mario in the discussion. You will understand why in a second. So Andrea Cambiaso, you know it, I was there together with my son in his very first goal with Juventus Verona, 96-minute goal of Andrea Cambiaso. I was that crazy that day in celebrating that I didn't even know who scored that goal. And when the speaker was saying Andrea, I thought he was saying Adrien. So every time that he was saying Andrea, I was saying Rabiot, Andrea Rabiot, Andrea Rabiot. Until some people were looking at me and said, Beppe, it's Cambiaso that scored, not Rabiot. Andrea Cambiaso, not Adrien Rabiot. Small little story. And there we saw Cambiaso doing extremely well in that season. I think it was in the month of October, if I'm not wrong. He had a fantastic season. And then Cambiaso on the 5th of December 2024, injury against Bologna versus Manchester City. He totally disappeared from the radar. I have been extremely negative on him. I criticized him a lot, where I was absolutely not happy. There were some circumstances where he was holding back. He was not even answering the calls to play. He preferred to be at home, where I was really not happy. Not happy at all. There were even some games where he preferred not to play than to play, and the performances were not great. I think that since then we saw a beautiful performance against Inter, where he entered, and we saw an old Cambiaso, but that's barely it. While on Sunday, I see him playing in a fantastic way, offensively. Fantastic way. 2 goals, beautiful movements, playing on the wing, sometimes not too much, but sometimes also going towards the center. We saw a fantastic, beautiful Andrea Cambiaso, but attenzione, because it's great to speak about the offensive line, but defensively, he still gave me some fear. Defensively, he made me really worry with some amnesia moment. Did you notice it as well, that in defense sometimes he had this moment of total amnesia. He forgets he's doing really strange things, or he forgets his man, or he gives a pass to no man's land, to nobody, putting the team really in difficulty and not fast enough to recuperate. One of the problems of Cambiaso is, for example, that first acceleration, where he's really good when he's carrying the ball, when he dictates the tempo, he's good, but when he's surprised, and when he needs that reactivity test in, okay, something different happens than the plan, and I need to turn myself, go run or react, he has that second of delay, like I had a bit earlier with the live. So this is something that is worrying me, and that's why I also want to involve Joao Mario there, because Joao Mario, we clearly saw it now after 2 games with us, he is an offensive player. At a certain moment, I said to my son, this is a real test for Joao Mario against an Adeyemi, and in the first 15 minutes, I can tell you that he was totally cooked. It was tough for Joao Mario defensively to keep a player like Adeyemi. Then they were able to contain him. Juventus started to play like Igor Tudor wants Juventus to play. So going up, actually thinking offensively and not staying in the back. And there you see that an Adeyemi, because the team of Dortmund was totally split in two because they needed more to defend than to attack, well, Adeyemi could just stay silent because of Kalulu. And Joao Mario didn't need to pay too much attention to him. They didn't need 2 men on him like in the beginning. But in the first 15 minutes, he was totally cooked. So offensively, bravo. Defensively, pay attention. That's when we are hearing sometimes that we are trying a 4-man defense. I would never do a 4-man defense with our right and left back that are Cambiaso on the left and Kalulu on the right. I would not do that. Personally, I would not do that because I think that we will be really exposed. And also, if there are some games where you know that you will suffer, that you know that you will play a lot of time in your own half, I don't think that Cambiaso and Joao Mario are ideal defensively, because we could possibly be really, really in a problem. Offensively good, huh? With that Cambiaso offensively good, Joao Mario, when he takes the ball, when he goes alone, you see that I believe that, again, a lot of fans were excessive in immediately putting him a label. He's bad, he's really bad, well, the player, why are we doing that, who's that guy? Actually, you see the offensive qualities of Joao Mario. So good. Some people said here, Joao Mario will be used as a situational player depending on the opposition. I don't know. And it all depends on Nico Gonzalez. So please don't spoil, guys. Otherwise, you know that we will temporarily ban you from the channel. So Ibrahim, please don't spam. Please don't spam. So I was saying something. You see, I forgot. No, offensively amazing, yeah. But football is not only offensively, yeah. It's also defensively. What was I saying? Nico Gonzalez. That's what I was saying. So today you have two total different stories. The first one on Tuttosport that is telling us after the game against Dortmund that Nico Gonzalez didn't play. Tudor spoke with Nico Gonzalez to find a kind of agreement that satisfies the players, that satisfies the club, that satisfies the coach, which is to ask him to play as a right wing back, to understand his motivations, etc., etc. You know that there were some offers. Saudi Arabia, Al Hilal Al Ali tried as well for Nico Gonzalez. You know that Inter Atalanta, in case there is something that is developing with Lookman, could have possibly think about him. Commonly said 30 or he doesn't leave, which I already told you, and I told you many times. He's totally right. I will not blame Damien Comolli for not selling players that should be gone. Dusan Vlahovic maybe, or players that are not part of the first plans of Tudor. I will not blame him this year, because in keeping his vision, his strategy, his decision straight, is actually sending a message for 2026 to all the other agents, to all the other clubs, and to the players themselves. And pay attention what will happen with the players, because we speak about 30 players. Nobody has been put out of the team. Even Arthur was doing warm-up in Dortmund. But pay attention from the moment that it will be official, that the list will be given, especially the Champions League one. If we still have 30 players, it's a risk that we would have taken. I think that then we will see another capital increase. Pay attention on what I'm telling you. If we are not able to sell Dusan Vlahovic, pay attention, because I expect another capital increase, another one. You saw it, 50 million euro for Thiago Motta immediately from John Elkann, with the possibility to go up to 110. Another 15 has been given, you remember, after we were not able to find an agreement with Nottingham for Weah and Bangula. So another 15 has been given for a total of 30. But I really believe that we could potentially increase it if we are not able to do so. I will not blame Damien Comolli. And Tudor said, guys, I coach the players that I have at disposal at the moment. And at the moment, we know that there is Joao Mario, and that's it on the right side. If we want to play a 3-4-2-1, this is at the moment the only player at disposal is Joao Mario. Nico Gonzalez is a player that should play offensively, at least that is why we signed him for. But without other new player, it's Nico Gonzalez that played that first or second half, I believe. First half there in that position against Reggiana. So one story, Tuttosport is telling us, attenzione, because there were some talks. If there is no offer of 30, he will stay. They found a compromise, and he could fight for his spot. And that's one story. I can even tell you that without Sancho, or without a player for Sancho, or whatever, up front we have Conceição Yildiz. Today we have Conceição Yildiz, guys. That's it, That's it. Conceição Yildiz. Yildiz Conceição, Conceição Yildiz. So potentially in some games he could play still in his natural position. That could be right winger, left winger, or whatever in this position. He could potentially at today. Of course, if you take a Colomwani can also play in these positions, so it will be a bit more difficult. Yes, we have at today Miretti, we have Azic, and I will tell you even more, we have a Douglas Luiz that we saw for 30 minutes playing in that position. Douglas Luiz that again did well. No? If you're looking at the 30 minutes against Dortmund, I must say that Douglas Luiz did well. According to Duder, he's a player that can score. That's what we saw in UK. According to Duder, he's the one that is making the last pass. That's what we saw against when he was playing at Aston Villa. So according to him, he's not a player to play in the back, but a player that can play up front. Will he stay or not stay? Look, until the last live I did, or the last videos, it was that close of Nottingham, but at the moment it's not happening. They were speaking about Sangare. Sangare is not a player that will go to Juve. So at the moment there are no the money for Douglas Luiz. So it could be that at the end, and that would be a big huge surprise, Douglas Luiz will not only stay at Juve, but could possibly even play in a new role, and who knows, doing really well. Why is there the possibility to see a Douglas Luiz a bit more advanced on the field? Because we took a decision. What is the decision that they took together with one player? So Tudor had discussion with one player that made actually possible that Nico Gonzalez, that Douglas Luiz is playing a bit more in front. Who? So there was another discussion. Bravo, Abhishek. Cope manners. He went to the coach. He said, "Coach, I'm available to play there. I'm available to play there in the two-man midfield." Hey, I tell you the truth. I don't know how you watch it on television. From the stand, you know that I didn't even dislike the intentions of Cope in the last 30 minutes against Dortmund. Then there is one huge problem. He's unlucky. He's really unlucky. It looks like there is a cloud of unluck above his head that is following him. Like, for example, at a certain moment he runs and he's injuring his own player. I think it was Miretti. He injured Miretti at a certain moment. And then that final pass where he has the shaky legs. Yeah. No. He's not the player that I want to see at the moment today. But the intentions were really there. So, no, the intentions of Dusan were not good. I don't agree. I saw a total different, maybe I'm wrong because I watched it from the stadium. Maybe you with replay, you saw something else better than me. But from the stand, I saw a total difference between the intent. I'm speaking about intentions from Cope Manners and from Dusan Vlahovic, personally. And I told you, if today I would put €1 on believing that Cope will turn around this season, I don't know if I would put €1 on the table. I don't know that. I'm not ready today to promise you that. So it's not that I just saw better intentions but an availability to play a bit more behind, which I think it's better for a coach than playing a bit more offensively. So, and that's why they actually changed it now with Cope a bit more back, with Douglas Luiz a bit more up front. And the fact that Cope Manners was playing in that position, maybe now Juventus is thinking about a more offensive midfielder. Is it because they are sure they will sell Miretti? Is it because they are sure they will sell Douglas Luiz? And they are looking for players a la O'Reilly. O'Reilly is a true name. It's not an invention from the papers. It's a true name. Now it's really strange, because you remember that at a certain moment when we were not able to unlock Cope Manners at Juve, Atalanta was on the next Cope Manners, that was O'Reilly, And Juventus said, if you are not selling us Koopmeiners, we go for O'Reilly. At the end, Koopmeiners went to Juve. He went to Brighton. First game friendly. I will always remember, because I wanted to watch that game. First game, Bim injured, so he had some difficulties. He was not able to prove his what he did with Celtic. It's a player that is born as a regista, so a defensive midfielder with the possibility to build, to have that vision, with educated feet. This is Matt O'Reilly. But because of his offensive skills during his career, he had the opportunity to play a bit more offensive, a bit more closer to the goal of the opposition. What I'm asking myself is, if you go for a player like O'Reilly, why are you signing O'Reilly? Because if, again, we go towards a player that can do a bit of everything, no. Because I believe that we have too much of players that are able to do a bit of everything. Look at Cambiaso. One time he plays on the right, one play he plays on the left, one time he plays a bit more up, one time he plays a bit more down, one time he needs to focus a bit more on defense, one time he has the ability to take the ball, to carry the ball towards the center, sometimes he needs to play more on the wing, and that's Cambiaso. Look at our problem in defense. We just spoke about it. A Kalulu that is obliged to play on the left side, or we are trying to find situations how we can play because we don't have a strong one as a left center back. And we have problems there. Look at Weston McKennie, that played in all the positions except of goalkeeper and center back. Except of that, he played all the positions last year. Look at Nico Gonzalez, that started in our idea as a right wing back, and at the end, but we can also use him as a falso nove. But we can play him on the left. But you know what? Now let's try, because we have no other option, to try him on the right side of the field, like a right wing back. So if you tell me O'Reilly, we sign him with clear ideas that he is a player that can play behind the striker, for example, in a 3-4-2-1, Kenan Yildiz, O'Reilly, or O'Reilly, Conceição, when Kenan Yildiz is not playing, I tell you, why not? But then I need to understand who leaves the team. Is it Douglas Luiz? Is it Miretti? Is both of them? I need to understand. But then he's a backup player for the offensive ones. You understand what I mean? Because Conceição at today with Yildiz are both starters, both of them. So he would be a rotational player. Or you tell me, but we play him as a midfielder instead of Thuram, for example, when Thuram needs to rest, because he can go up also with the ball. He has that Fratesi skill where he can enter the spaces really well, or he can play next to Thuram, playing a bit a la Regista, because he played that in his past. But tell me why you need him. We need to have clear ideas what we want from O'Reilly. O'Reilly is not a player a la Yulman, he's not a player a la Bissouma, he's not a player a la Kessié, he's not a player a la Andrey Santos, he's something totally different. We should know, at the moment, today, honestly, even if I like the player that I watch at Celtic, because I already studied him, I really loved the player that at a certain moment said, let's go for him instead of Koopmeiners. Remember I said that? Well, even if I like the player, at today, I think it's no sense. But in La Continassa, it's a name that has not been disregarded. It's a real name. It's a name that is real. So, Mikey Mazzarese, thank you for the donation, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. My pleasure again. To be honest, the last 4 years following Juve have been so great because of your channel. Keep up the great work, my friend. Really, really, really appreciate it, Mikey. Thank you. Jamal, Al-Jamal Kamis, thank you for 34 months together with us. Since Marotta left, we failed on a sporting level. But it's a shortcut. It's a shortcut that I don't like too much. Because it's too easy. It's too easy. I never believe in one thing and voila. No, Marotta was part of Juve, important role, part of Juve, but a lot of things happened so that Marotta left Juve. A lot of things happened after Marotta left. It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut that we can identify as that's the moment. You know, that I praise Marotta for so many things, but I also pointed out a lot of time that, according to me, Marotta, a lot of things that he did badly were actually hidden. Now I'm really curious what he will be able to do with Inter. I'm really curious what he will be able to do with Inter, because financially it's not that he did so well at Inter. Let's see. I'm really curious. But anyway, no, I don't agree 100%, but of course it could be a shortcut, but I don't agree. Not because I don't like that much Marotta. Even if I can really praise a lot of things that he did, politically he's the best one. It's like people say, we stopped winning because of the change of logo. Mama, that's another thing that I really don't like, because it's part of a much wider, much bigger picture. Much bigger picture. Attenzione.
Sent 5 more members to Dortmund to meet the Juventus legends. But first it was time to explore the German Football Museum, as 3 Juventini from Germany and 2 from Italy experienced the ultimate Juventus day. And after a little walk through the city, it was time to head to the stadium for the Borussia Dortmund versus Juventus women's game. It had a really good atmosphere. And then the bus with the men's team arrived, so it was time for us to enter the big stadium. 80,000 fans for a friendly game, including thousands of Juventini in the away ends. Crazy support, and the game went well for our boys too. And then came the biggest highlight for our members. Meeting Juventus legend and Champions League winner, Moreno Torricelli. Sent 5 more members to Dortmund to meet the Juventus.
Beautiful short.
But first it was time to explore the German Football Museum, as 3 Juventini from
Beautiful
Germany
short.
and 2 from Italy experienced.
If you didn't yet, Juventus short about the trip in Dortmund. That was really great. I had the opportunity, I didn't speak about it, I had the opportunity to meet Fiago, real life. I liked him. I really liked him because it's a player. You don't hear me again? You can hear. No, you can hear or you cannot hear? Tell me, guys. So I really liked his content. I spoke with him a few times on online, but so I appreciated him a lot. But I never had met him, and there I had the opportunity to meet him in the morning already in the hotel on Sunday. I met him, and we spent the entire day together. I met his father. Fantastic person, Patrizio, until the evening, because we watched the game together then in the evening as well, and then he brought me back with a car to the hotel where my car was parked, so we spoke a lot together. I did really great person. I can confirm what I was thinking about the person. The person is top level, top guy. And we made a promise. He will come here on the channel, and I will go on his podcast. So that's the promise that we made. But now I had a really beautiful contact with him. So guys, if you don't know, like some people are saying, I don't know who is Fiago, go on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever. You type in Fiago, you will see his content. So he's an Italian-German, can we say? Finn Agostinelli is his real name, that is making content about international football in a real format, but then also some YouTube. But on YouTube, it's more like, this kind of vlogs where he goes in different cities or part of the world. Good guy. Chapeau. Bravo, 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 Fiago. Really appreciate him. Okay, what else didn't we speak about? Because then I will start stopping for the live of now and coming back probably this evening with another live for the things that we didn't speak about. So tell me, guys, is there something you guys, 5 more minutes, something that we really need to speak about before closing? But Juve position on Cope we spoke about, huh? You cannot sell him, guys. You cannot sell him. So we must make sure that that is working. This will be a huge big challenge for Tudor. What about Colo? Well, there is a possibility. Maybe I can finish with that one. That's a good one. Taking the Colo Vlahovic situation. So there is a possibility that Dusan Vlahovic says, I don't find any agreement with nobody. I stay last year because I don't accept any other destination. I stay, I take my money. And that's where I will be extremely curious. Because from what I heard today, Juventus could even possibly go on the market for a striker. That could be Colomwani, actually relegating Dusan Vlahovic as the third striker of the team. But third striker of the team means that the opportunities will not be a lot, except of big injury from one of the other two. But that's a risk that we could take that would be compensated probably with a capital increase, could possibly, not sure, but could possibly, so that we don't lose too much. Will be an impact on the books, but not in the money that Juventus owns. That could be possibly a thing. Then I tell you, Comoli has taken one strategy and is holding strong. If it's for me, if Vlahovic doesn't leave, doesn't find any agreement or whatever, maybe to Newcastle, if Isaac is leaving, whatever, could be that we don't see a Dusan Vlahovic, but the guys could be a problem. Now, Colomwani, I'm expecting a decision, not today. I already told you, I don't believe Gazzetta dello Sport is telling us on the 13th he will be there on the field with Juve against the Juve Next Gen. I don't believe that. And it will not happen anyway. But I still believe in Colomwani coming back to Juve, even if Dusan could possibly stay and then being there on the bench, guys, on the bench or in the stands. Maybe not even in the list for the Champions League, which would be boom. Let's speak about that this evening when we will come back live. So this evening, a second live. Tomorrow, video, and then also Juventus against Juventus Next Gen. I think it will be broadcasted so that we can do the first, finally, watch along of the season. If you didn't, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, 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 grazie. Forza Juve. Ciao.